Je sais qui vous êtes!
Ils savent qui je suis.
Yeah, an ex-activist, left-wing activist who is in hiding for 35 years, and his political past resurfaces the day when a victim of his past is coming back and tries to kill him, wants vengeance. So,
well, we've had this story for a long time in our mind. And when it was the first project we ever had, and we kept putting it away in the cupboard, and every now and then we take it out and say, no, it's not the time to do this story. It's not the time to do this story. And we decided to do it now because the world is in chaos, and we wanted to do a story that reflected a little bit this chaos and the desire to make it better. And but what should you do to make it better? And maybe you do the wrong thing and you make it worse. And so we wanted to follow this character who makes it worse somehow because he has victims in his instead of making the world better. And at the same time, he crosses paths with this couple who have personal damage. They're damaged personally. And so sometimes you also have to weigh the individual with your ideal and try and find, it's very important also for each individual to find happiness and be able to pick up the pieces when they're broken. So they were the ingredients of this problem in this story. So we decided to do the story with these types of characters.
It seems to me like many times the words just give some space to the movements and to the choreography, to the body language. So I'm curious about this process. You know, how you think about it, and when you're creating the scene, the script, or everything.
Well, we work for a while on the script, trying to find ideas that have a physical potential. And as soon as we have a beginning, middle, and an end, we call our friends, actors, who are clowns or physical actors, and we try things, and usually it gives us a good idea of what is working and not, and also it brings new ideas, because with the clown, you know, sometimes the idea is fine, but it doesn't fit that body or that kind of person. So we get new ideas, we go back to the computer, and there is a ping pong between computer and tryings for 1 or 2 years sometimes. Meanwhile, we are trying to finance the film. But so there is a lot of improvisation, nourishing the script. And as soon as we start to shoot, usually we don't improvise anymore, because we only have 9 weeks of shooting, which is sometimes a lot for some people, but not a lot for us, because everything is so choreographic or, you know, physical, that we need to know what we have to do when we start to shoot.
It's not so. We think that our bodies are more intelligent than our minds. So that's why we leave a lot of space when we write the script for the improvising of what we're going to find in the improvisation.
Yes, Dominique was talking about the clowns, and yes, in your previous movies, I saw some influence about, I mean, that Chaplin and Buster Keaton and something like that. But in this movie particularly, I don't know. Okay, I mean, I might be wrong, but that is my question. I have some thoughts. I can't stop thinking about Pina Bausch.
She's always been, and we always like to dance, and we feel like we come from an old family of actors playing on the stage or on circus. You know, we're inspired by Chaplin, Keaton, Tati, and all the person who trusting to look at that body and what we feel when that body moves. And we feel often that the body language is more true than what we say, because when we say, we try to be coherent and we build an image of ourselves, but when we move, we don't control everything. So it's more true. And Pina Bausch is an inspiration.
She seemed to understand people who were not perfect, and work with, even though her dancers are sublime, but they're not typical dancer bodies, and she started something new with their bodies that nobody did before, and with bodies in funny, at the same time funny and sad and a little bit, yes, she has a beautiful mix. So yes, you're completely right.
So does Kaori Ito, who's playing the bartender owner in our film. She's a Japanese dancer, and she's creating a lot. She's playing with a lot of creators and choreographers all around the world, and she has also a lot of sense of humor in her own creations. So we are happy to share that body language with her, as we like amateurs. You know, in the dance that we do in the film, some people are not dancer at all, but the way they move, they tell a lot on humanity.
I think that as a result, we just have some magical moments with the body that, expressing themselves. So it's very, very beautiful. You both, I don't know how, but you both write, perform, and direct all your movies. So how do you organize this process?
I guess we're used to it because we did a lot of theater before. And in theater, you have to learn how to perceive what the audience is perceiving of you, to be able to adapt to their mood and to see if they're getting bored or if they're excited. And you can't do it just by looking at them. You have to kind of feel it. So we're kind of used to that perceiving how others perceive us. So for us, it's just completely natural. And I think in the world of physical comedy, it's very common because one clown is not like another clown, and each clown, in the large sense, Chaplin and all the others, they don't just work on their character, they also worked on all the context to make their humor flourish. It's not just their play, it's all the rest of it too. So I don't know, it just comes naturally to us to do it that way and to build it little by little by trying out things. So we rehearse for maybe an hour or two, and then we turn it on and we watch it, and we can judge it in that way, because it's easier than in theater where you have to do it right on the moment. But we have the advantage with film that it's all recorded, and we can watch it and judge and then try to repeat it later on.
We also show what we did with our partners. It's a bit like a circus. We want the actor to bring stuff, so they look at themselves too. And sometimes, it's very collective. Even with people who are technicians, like the woman who's doing the chef opératrice, I know,
DP.
the DP, and we have a lot of persons that we ask them to come ahead of the shooting, and we try together to find something, because we feel it's more precious there, it's more human, and they are more involved, and it's a real teamwork.
Bring the theatrical language into our cinema. And in that language, you build like a sculpture. It's like a painting, and little by little, the pieces come together. And once it's together, it's you don't have any doubts about it. You feel that it's something that it works. Though, of course, when we're finished shooting, there are things that we know that we've missed, and that we don't think we're up to par. But
it's too late.
It's too late, and then we have the editing to try and fix things.
But it's true that I think that clowns, they don't do, it's not an interpretation. They cannot be interpret, I know, obviously. They can only be creators. So you have to find a way to bring them into that process, and it's like a flower. You can add water, or you can cut some leaves, but you have to build it together.
But the result is some magical process, that you can only feel. I mean, like I was, I am stunned.
Well, I would really like to be there when Brazil sees our film, because every time we come to Brazil, you say boa noite, and they all say as a group boa noite, and it's completely magical. And I think, well, I hope you just pretend we're there and say boa noite to us before the film.
Yeah, I'd like to be there. I'd like to be there. This film is particular because it's a mix of a film noir and like a thriller and clown. So I feel like the two are very Brazilian. I mean, the optimism, naivety is very much into what I see in your country, and also the dark side, and also disenchantment and actual problems. So I'd like to see how they react.
Thank you for this conversation. And I'm just gonna finish just saying, boa noite.
Boa noite.